Here is the system I built so that I could run some large language models locally. So it needs to, for it to run fast enough, it needs to be able to fit large language model inside the VRAM. So here I have two 3090 graphics cards, each with 24 gigabytes of RAM. So that's 48 gigabytes of RAM, VRAM total. And here I've nvlinked them together, so that helps as well. There's a 3-slot spacing, so in order to fit, I had to have one of them water cooled. I try to keep costs down, so I bought a few things used, always in pretty good condition though, or even a like new condition. One of the graphics cards is air cooled, but one is water cooled, mainly for space and of course cooling, since they're so close together. And you can see it's pretty tight here. The radiator and everything is really tight, so I had to kind of be somewhat clever in how I arranged everything, but it is working well, and I'll show some examples of that. This system has 64 gigabytes of DDR5 RAM, and of course the CPU is water cooled as well, and also in addition to the 64 gigabytes of DDR5, I've got some 2 terabyte and a 1 terabyte solid state drive, mostly for the large language model to keep things fast. I have noticed a change in latency if I try to use for example, I do have a regular spinning hard drive, and you can see quite a bit of slowdown in, I guess, transferring to the RAM or even to the VRAM. But yeah, so the system works pretty well. I'll show some examples of it, but yeah, there you go. Here you can see my Ollama build. I'm running Ollama through the Open webui interface. I have my Ollama 3.1 70 billion parameter model. I have a few different models, but this one works pretty well. So I'm also going to let me change the context length, because I usually keep it a bit higher. So so the default for this specific model is I keep it, I think, like 30 or 30,000, something like that, which slows things down a little bit. But yeah, let's put it here and let's ask a question. Let's say, why is the sky blue and not purple? So standard questions, spice it up a bit though. Purple, and relate this to green grass. Let's just see what it does. Okay, so I do that, and I'm gonna spy a little on my video cards. Okay, so you can see it's starting to fill up. It started with very little usage, and now they're filled, right? So 2 video cards, 24 gigs video memory each. And yeah, so both of them are filled now, and I could look at my usage here. Only 5 gigabytes used of my 62 gigs, but yeah, 64 gigs. And yeah, so that gets a bit higher and slows down when I have bigger context length for bigger documents. So let's look at this again. Okay, and here you can see it's moving pretty quick. So it started fast also. I guess I didn't quite see that, but yeah, it starts very fast, 10 seconds or less. And it you can see it moves pretty fast. Obviously, some people get it moving faster. On my home build, this is pretty good, I think, with the 70 billion parameters. And it's pretty good. And it, seems to be pretty correct, actually. Yeah, why not purple and everything? And it talks about scattering, really scattering exactly, and green, and it'll try to relate it. And yeah, so that's my build there. And yeah, so it works pretty well. I have a bunch of other models I check, but I do like Llama 3.1. Llama 3.2, yeah, I'm waiting for the Vision to get set up in Ollama, and then I'll install that. Have some other Vision models here, but like Lava, but not as it doesn't work as great, I think, as the Llama 3.2. So I'm excited about that. But yeah, I definitely want to try my hand at some fine tuning. Also, haven't really done too much of that yet. But yeah, so that's my build, and that's how it works.